The glittering lights of the Beverly Hills Gala were meant to illuminate a night of elegance, charity, and carefully curated celebrity moments. Instead, they shone down on a scene so shocking that the room still hasn't stopped buzzing. Tyler Perry, the Hollywood mogul once hailed as Meghan Markle's greatest ally, stood sent a stage, face tight with fury, hands trembling with a paper contract. In one swift, theatrical move, he ripped it in half. The sound of tearing paper cut through the air like a blade, and the collective gasp of the audience followed. Meghan, seated in the front row, froze. Every camera in the room turned toward her, capturing the moment her powerful ally turned into her public executioner. For years, Meghan and Tyler's friendship had been one of Hollywood's most curious alliances. He opened H's sprawling Beverly Hills mansion to Harry and Meghan during the height of their fallout with the royal family, offering sanctuary, privacy, and a new stage from which to relaunch their public life. In return, Meghan often spoke glowingly of Tyler, calling him a friend who busy #AMEF. But beneath the glossy magazine spreads and polite red carpet exchanges, insiders now say tensions had been simmering for Monty HS. Over money, over control, and, most of all, over broken promises. The contract Perry tore was no ordinary document. Sources claim it represented a multi-million-dollar production deal involving a docu-series and several exclusive interviews, all built on the promise that Meghan would deliver never-before-heard revelations about royal life, Diana's legacy, and her own transformation into an independent icon. For Perry, it as the crown jewel in a slate of upcoming projects. For Meghan, it was another step in cementing her post-royal empire. But as deadlines approached, Perry reportedly grew frustrated with Meghan's constant delays, shifting demands, and last-minute changes to the narrative. On the night of the gala, Perry had been scheduled to present an award. Instead, he strode on stage with the contract in hand, his expression unreadable until #E began speaking. "Trust is everything in this business," he began, his voice echoing through #the hushed ballroom. "And when that trust is broken, sometimes the only thing left to do is this." With that, he tore the pages apart, letting the pieces flutter to the stage floor. The room erupted, some in applause, others in disbelief. Meghan's reaction was a study in shock and controlled rage. At first, she tried to laugh it off, clapping politely as if Perry's act was some kind of perform #ants art. But those close enough to see her face describe her jaw tightening, her lips pressed into a thin, furious line. Harry, seated beside her, leaned in to whisper something, but Meghan brushed him off, her eyes locked on Perry with a mixture of disbelief and cold calculation. Behind the scenes, the breakdown between Meghan and Perry had been brutal. According to insiders, Perry accused Meghan of manipulating the project to serve her personal image rather than the truth they had agreed to present. In his view, the series was meant to be raw, unfiltered, and deeply human. But Meghan allegedly insisted on removing segments that portrayed her in anything less than flawless light, cutting anecdotes that revealed moments of doubt, conflict, or vulnerability. She wanted control, complete control, one source family are with the production said. But Perry built his empire on authenticity, and he wasn't about to let her turn his work into a polished PR pain. The public humiliation at the gala was, in Perry's mind, the only way to make a statement. By tearing up the deal in front of Hollywood's elite, he sent a clear message. His loyalty had limits, and no friendship, not even one forged in the chaos of royal exile, could survive betrayal. The fallout #S immediate. Entertainment reporters scrambled to file stories within minutes. Social media exploded with clips from the event, and #Liku Perry vs Meghan began trending worldwide. For Meghan, the damage was twofold. Not only did she lose a lucrative deal with on #E of the industry's most powerful figures, but the very public nature of Perry's #rebuke undermined her carefully cultivated narrative of being a wronged, misunderstood figure. Suddenly, She wasn't the victim of royal cruelty. She was the former Duchess, who had alienated even her most #voted allies. In the hours after the gala, Meghan and Harry were seen leaving through a side exit, avoiding the pre-SS. Perry, meanwhile, was spotted #T the after-party, surrounded by fellow producers and actors, okaying unshaken and unapologetic. Sometimes you have to burn a bridge to keep from being dragged back #across it, he was overheard telling a colleague. The royal watchers, of course, have seized on the drama as yet another sign of Meghan's pattern, the falling out with friends, the severed ties, the high-profile confrontatie #ONS. To her critics, Perry's public break is proof that the Duchess's influence #UNS is waning. To her supporters, it's a misunderstanding that will eventually be spun into yet another comeback story. But one thing is certain, the image of Tyler Perry, standing under the stage lights, ripping that contract to shreds while Meghan watched helplessly from her seat, will be replayed and dissected for months to come. And in Hollywood, where perception, is everything, the symbolism of that act might prove more